here with Tammy Honaman of Fire Mountain Gems and Beads, and Tammy's going to show us a great peyote tubular bracelet. Is that what we're making?
It is a bracelet.
Okay, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a tubular peyote stitch, and for basic purposes, I've shown here how to do the stitch in a blue and green combination so that it shows the contrast of how the stitch actually comes together.
Right.
And it's only for instructional purposes.
Okay.
These don't actually match the beads that we're going to be using today.
But it's easier to see them with those.
It's much easier to
larger.
see. So I just cut a length of thread, and I string on 8 seed beads.
Okay.
These are a bit larger. These are size 6.
But they would normally be seed beads.
Yep.
For the most part.
And I'm just going to string my needle back through all of the beads, and this will begin the tube portion of it.
Okay.
So you're going to string all the way through, go back through all of them. And when you're doing this, you want to also go back through what would be the first bead you strung in the beginning. So you're actually going through 9.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and that'll create your base.
So that's your circular.
That's your circle.
Oh, look at that.
That's your beginning circle.
Okay.
Okay, and then from there, you want to begin adding what would be your second row. And I'm going to pick up a blue one to show you. What you're going to do is go through the third bead of what was from your original row, the third bead.
Okay.
Okay. And then from there, you're going to skip every other bead, and in an odd count, you're going to go the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and then you're going to come around to creating. It'll look like that when you're at your 3rd bead.
Okay.
Okay. And then...
So you're just building another row, basically.
Correct.
That's what you're doing with
Correct. And then you're going to pick up, to start your next pass, you're going to pick up your next bead, and you're going to go in through and then up. And that's called a step up. So you're going to go through your last bead from your first row, the first bead from your current row to begin your new row.
Okay.
Okay, it's a step up.
Okay.
Okay. If you continue that pattern, it will begin to create a tube that looks like this.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
It's a neat pattern. Peyote makes a really nice pattern and predictable. I happen to like something a little bit more simple, a little bit more refined.
Yeah.
So I decided to try the spiral.
Oh, okay.
I like the spiral look. So to do the spiral, and now I'll show you in the beads that are actually in the finished bracelet so you can kind of make the switch over.
Right.
And these are size 8 seed beads. Again, I have just a circle of 8 size 8 seed beads. I've added my first row of the 4 where I'm skipping every other.
Right.
I've done my step up, and I'm ready to begin my next row.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do we get it in that shape there?
And then, once I've finished that, I like to start working on a chopstick because it gives me a little bit of form to work on.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it just gives me a little bit of something more to hold on because the beads are still in a very awkward position.
And they're moving around.
They move around a lot. So I like to just kind of secure that up on a chopstick.
Okay.
And then I continue weaving from there.
All right.
Now, for every row, once you've done your step up, you pick up one of these amethyst round beads.
Okay.
And then as you go around, your next step up, you add an amethyst bead for your first row. And because of the way peyote progresses, every first bead is one step over, which is then what creates your spiral.
Okay.
And it'll look like that.
So you have a little bit of more of a zigzag as it goes through it. It's like the amethyst beads are wrapping itself around the
Absolutely.
initial beads.
That's a very good way to think about it. And I do about 4 inches.
Okay.
Okay. And now, of course, that isn't for everybody's style, so you might also like to see it in just a very plain, all one color, 4-inch length.
Of course, because of the beads you use, that's still not really plain.
You're right.
Beautiful.
They do have a nice finish on them.
They do.
And then from there, it's then just a basic stringing. So I can show you then from here. Slide this back. From here, what I like to do is then pick an assortment of beads that actually all somewhat go together, but don't match.
I love that center bead.
Oh, this is a lovely focal bead. It's a porcelain, hand-painted porcelain bead.
It's gorgeous.
Accented with 24 karat gold.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's quite a wide variety available, but I happen to like this shape. And from here, I chose my other beads, and you can see I strung an amethyst rondelle, freshwater stick pearl, some fluorite, and again, our focal bead, and then a couple other accent beads.
Right.
And once I've gotten to the length I think I'll need for my bracelet, I'll add on my toggle. Half of my toggle, and to do that I just take a few of the size 11 seed beads, a size 8, 2 small seed beads, another size 8, and then I just bring that pattern back around.
Okay.
And then I weave back through all of the beads in the strand.
So you can go through every single one of them again?
You go through every single
Okay.
one again, and then you want to pass back. I like to do it 4 times, if you can,
And what's the reason for that?
for good security.
Just to make sure that it's on tightly.
It's 9
And
beading
what about
thread.
the gauge? I was going to say, I was just going to ask you that.
Reading your mind. It's 9 beading thread, which is a nylon-based thread, so it's very strong. But to go through 4 times, if one of the threads should break, your bracelet won't fall apart at the party.
Right.
You'll at least be able to get home and
Right.
repair it.
Exactly.
So then I like to go back through, and sometimes when you're using pearls, the holes are a little bit smaller. And because they're stick pearls, it's a little hard to make the holes too much larger.
Right.
So what I've figured out how to do was to create something like a bridge. So when I'm getting ready to go through the stick pearl, instead I'll add some seed beads, and then I'll continue through my path. And the other beads have large holes, so it really, for them, isn't a problem.
See, now that's a great idea. That's a great tip right there.
Well, it's just, it doesn't limit you from really adding that extra security. It helps you really make that process. In fact, on some pieces, I've added seed beads on both sides, just so I can be sure to get all my beads together in a real secure fashion. And once I've gone through, I'll weave back through the peyote tube. And what I like to do for this, because of the way the pattern comes together, I'll weave down and around in a spiral.
Okay.
I'll add some half hitch knots, and then I'll just keep weaving down, adding half hitches
Love
until I feel it's really secure.
It's beautiful. Let's go on to the finished project. So you can see this is the one that we made, all put together, looking lovely. And then you brought another variation of that too.
Yep, that actually also used the pearls and the stick pearls and some other different shapes.
And then you made it into a necklace too. I love it.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, and then here's some other ones. Wow, these are beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. That's a lariat, which is a lot of fun to wear.
With the same type of porcelain focal bead that you have in there.
Yeah,
Some
it shows-
similar colors, I think.
Yes, and you could see some of the variations in what's available.
And then there's the other necklace over there next to it, which is the shorter version.
With the Hill Tribe silver worked in.
And then we have bracelets, all of the different bracelets that we have. Now, you brought to us an assortment of those focal beads that we were talking about. Can you want to talk about a couple of them?
Sure, well you can see that they are available in the round, the flat round. There's
I
also,
love this orange one here.
it's really fun, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
It brings out a lot of different colors. The options you could do for beads with that is just almost unlimited.
Now, is the design on both sides of the beads? Or
It
is.
is.
Just, so if I were
It
to
is.
flip this over, oh, look at that. I would see it there too.
And it is a little bit
Perfect.
different, which makes it nice.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter which side, especially if it's in a necklace, if it flips around.
Right, of course.
Perfect.
Yep.
Love that.
And they're hand done, so they're all a little bit
Ooh.
different, which I always appreciate.
So just pick your shape and your color scheme and you're off to go.
You got it.
Well, Tammy, this was wonderful. I loved showing us that different stitch and then how to make it into not only bracelet but necklaces as well.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, next up is this week's beading lesson with Katie Hacker.